Hello and thank you for watching this video about how to build a successful profile on LinkedIn in 2026 for conversion. We built marketing agency that does only on LinkedIn 6 figures ARR, and I will be talking about how we are helping also other clients to build the profile from profile viewers to customers and buyers. We currently have more than 150 clients for whom we revamped their LinkedIn profile, and we also analyzed 30 most successful profiles on LinkedIn, which we turned into the knowledge and into the successful journey of conversion on LinkedIn. So let's take a look how to do actually conversion on LinkedIn from your profile. So for this purpose of this video, I will be using my profile to just showcase different sections of your LinkedIn profile and how to use them and how to also set them up. So first of all, we have banner. So banner is the most important thing because in our agency we use 3-second test for every profile that we visit on LinkedIn. And it means that within 3 seconds, people need to get what you do, the keywords and what added value you can bring them or to their business. So banner is the visual part of your profile, and as you might know, people usually notice the visual part rather than the text. So when it comes to the banner, you can leverage this and to make visually appealing actually business card to tell people what you do, how you help them, and even a social proof. And you can use your branding colors. But when it comes to banner, we usually use first the primary sentence. So here we want to tell immediately the outcome, so how we help people with LinkedIn and what is actually the added value if they use our offer. Then we have the CTA, so call to the action, because when I told you about the 3-second test, it's also important to tell people the next step. So I land on your profile, I'm a profile viewer, I just view your profile, I don't know you, you are a stranger, and actually I might be your ideal client, but I need to know what should I do next. I just don't want to only follow you, I want to know what can I do next to actually get your service, your offer, or anything what you are actually selling or offering. So therefore we need to have the CTA. In this case it's get instant access, it can be book a call, it can be download my guide or anything like this. We want to also highlight for who is the offer. So you want to really be straightforward about your ideal client. So for who is this offer? I know that you might, for example, be also like open to other people, but usually like in our agency, and this is a secret that I want you to know, because like now it will not be secret anymore, but how you can scale also your agency or your business is something that people usually lie to. And it's that you should narrow down for one ideal client. And that's true for the campaign and like for how you do your PR. So like who is your main clientele? It means like from whom you do the most money, to whom you are actually like helping the most, who you want to target with that specific campaign, and this is your main ideal clientele. But it doesn't mean that you cannot help other people along the way. So for example, our agency is focusing mainly on founders and entrepreneurs, and our main offers and our main communication is around this. However, we also help students, we also help employees and the corporates, but this is more through the digital products or tailored made workshops, but most of our products are made for the founders and entrepreneurs. So you can actually extend your services, but always communicate the one ideal clientele in your offer straightforward, so that I know where is your main focus. As when I'm landing on your profile and I am founder, I actually get immediately into the action. Okay, I want to book a call. Okay, I want to buy the service. Okay, I want to download the free guide. But if I'm a student or employee, I might thrive, become somebody like you might be my idol, and therefore you can also support these people as well. So don't be close-minded, don't be narrow-minded, as they usually tell us that you cannot do more products for more people, but definitely don't put more energy where it's not necessary. So you want to focus on one, and this is why we actually handle the rest of the customers via digital products. So I'm usually not presented there personally. So this is something, just a side note about this. And then you want to have some social proof. So how many people used your service, how many people you served, etc. And as I said, you can also use your branding colors. If you are a bit unsure about your branding, you want to actually establish your branding, then I'm discussing everything in our current offer, which is the monetization course, where I'm really running you through the different like mindset shift of how you should establish your colors and how you should position your brand as such. And then we also have the headline, which is very important on your LinkedIn. So here you want to state like one sentence which will exactly tell people how you can help them. So, and you want to use here as many keywords as possible. So for example, personal brand, founders, LinkedIn, but don't mistaken the keywords for the synonyms. So it means that like you don't want to state like personal brand strategies helping founders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, business owners. No, it would just overwhelm people. So you want to just choose one keyword and not to use all of the synonyms, because it doesn't make sense and it would more confuse people rather than to help your search engine optimization. Headline is also very, very important when it comes, for example, first of all, search engine, but also commenting and outreach. Why? Because like when I am commenting on other people's profile, the first sentence of the headline is actually shown on my comment. So for example, I comment on somebody's comment and on somebody's post, and there is shown Marisa Metsnikova, yeah, good job. And under my name, there is actually written personal brand strategies helping founders, blah, blah, blah. So this is why this is very important, so that people recognize when you're doing outreach who you are and what you do. And then you can also add some more, for example, social proof. I think that I don't need to also state that you should have your company and then your education, and always like have here like the institutions or like your company with logo, because if there is no logo and I see it all the time, it doesn't look really professional. And then of course you should have here like where you are positioned, where you are based, in my case in United States. And you want to have the call to action, so visit my website, book a call with me, or get my free ebook, etc., etc. So that being said, we want to just go also in the contact info, because here most of the people have rather only email and not their website. So when I click on your contact info, I want to see here the email, I want to see here also your website. So this is exactly how it looks. So your email and your company info, and you can edit it immediately here. Then for the search engine optimization, you want to also work with the public profile URL. You want to keep it as simple without any kind of numbers, and you can also leverage the profile language in some of the primary languages that you use. Then we have about section. So in the about section, you want to actually speak about the story, the narrative, and you want to connect it to your specific offer right now. So I'm telling some storytelling, some narrative for who it is not, and then the CTA, monetize your LinkedIn profile in 60 minutes right now. You can also add section of services and the featured. This is very good, especially the services if you want to collect some reviews on your LinkedIn profile. And the featured is exactly where the gold mine is. But first I want to show you where you can add this section. So you click here on add section, and it will show all of the sections that you can actually add into your profile, and it's very powerful. But don't overdo it. Don't just add all of the sections for the sake of adding all of the sections. Rather choose the ones that can serve the service of like conversion. So When it comes to the featured section, you can see that I have here just 2 featured links, and it's really important to keep it this way. So either have 1 or 2 maximum, because if you have more than 2, then it gets really pressed and people might get again overwhelmed about what you are providing, what are the next steps, what should I do. And you can also use, for example, banner here, which will tell more information about it, and the title. When it comes to the featured section, you actually click here on plus and you can choose different forms. My favorite is at link, because I mean at newsletter or at post, it's not really converting. I want to get people on my website, on my sales form, on my landing page, where I can actually tell them more about that offer, what I'm offering, what are our, for example, case studies, what we have achieved, etc. So I'm mainly working with @link, and I don't usually recommend other things from actually other content that would be in the featured. So in this case, we would click on @link, and one thing that most people are actually not aware of is that there is one really quick tweak that you can do, because when you click on the featured, you want that on one click people will be redirected to your specific offer. So you don't want them to have more clicks. And many people, they actually do a mistake that they add a description in their featured section, and therefore they the users usually need to click. There is like a pop-up on LinkedIn which shows the description, and then they need to click on like small button which is like view website. However, if you exclude the description, so like you just delete it, then and somebody clicks on my free guide here, then they are immediately redirected to that featured section. So this was about featured, so don't include descriptions if you are going to go for the link. And then we have the activity. So here I usually have a post, but you can also have, for example, comments, you can have videos, images, etc. and much more, depending if you are, for example, photographer, then I would definitely go for images. If you have some really successful newsletter and you play actually your whole marketing strategy on newsletter, then I would put a newsletter. It always really depends. And at the beginning of our collaboration, so either we have products like do it yourself, so we teach it to you how you can actually do the strategy on LinkedIn. This is mainly in our product Digital Business College, where we actually meet with you and we do everything together to meet your success, but you implement it yourself. And then we also have done for you. So we can take care of your personal brand from A to Z. And this product is called All in Brand Method, where we really take care of your personal brand from A to Z. We do the outreach. We can even put the sales boost so that we actually book the calls into your agenda, and we do everything from A to Z. So these are the 2 products that we do for founders. And the main thing here is that you want to do at the beginning of our collaboration the mapping of your marketing. So at the beginning of collaboration for both of these, we will have 2.5-hour workshop together, where I will be asking questions about your business, what are your products, what is your pricing, and where we are actually putting people. So what is our goal? Is our success, how we would actually identify success for your personal brand? Is it to book you more on the stages? Is it to, for example, get you more clients booked? Is it, for example, that you will get more, for example, digital products sold? And we will map these. We will exactly put the KPI on what is the success rate for us for your specific business. And we will then analyze the profile together and how you can reach that specific goal through your LinkedIn profile. So it really depends in the activity what actually is your strategy. So here is not one straightforward thing like in the featured, but for example, if you are photographer, then I would recommend images. If you, for example, play a lot around videos, which I would not really recommend, then it's a videos. If comments, I would also not really recommend, even though we do really a lot of comments for outreach. It's not really visually appealing, but newsletter, images, events, if you are event company, might be, but posts, documents might be also possible because they get also quite a lot of engagement. So Yeah, so it really depends. You can then also like correct the default option for your activity. Experience. So here we want to tell a bit of story about what is happening behind the scenes. So for example, what are your achievements, what you do, maybe also a bit of narrative about like how did you come up with that specific business, etc. And we don't want to just leave it with like a founder, because the experience section is also leveraged for the search engine optimization. So you want to also add here keywords, but don't just restrict yourself for search engine optimization, right? Because like the trust is really in the story. It's really that you are the person, and when I'm like potential customer, I don't really care about your keywords, about your search engine optimization. I mean, it's important that I found you through it, but then I need to really know your story. I need to really feel the connection to your story. So this is much more important than the SEO. The same for the education. You can also add some pictures, but it doesn't really make that much difference. Then there are like projects, volunteering, skills, recommendations, and much more. But usually people don't scroll this much. Usually when it comes to go from the profile to conversion to the buyers, it's really the 3-second test. So when you do all of this revamp that we have discussed in this video, then just go to your family, go to your friends or some strangers and ask them, you have 3 seconds right now, tell me what do you get from my profile, what do I do? And like this, if you pass, then your keywords and your setup of the profile is the best, because you want to catch as many profile viewers as possible as your potential clientele, or also to grow the followers, etc. But don't usually on LinkedIn, don't mislead the number of followers for the success, because many people on LinkedIn sometimes have like 30,000, 60,000 of followers, but they have zero engagement. So usually how we assess the successful profile is that we look at the posts, the activity, and we do the ratio between how many followers you have and what is your engagement. Because even small profiles, like for example, I have right now when I'm recording this video, 6,300 followers. I am able to do 6 figures ARR with our marketing agency solely on LinkedIn. So don't mislead this. The important thing is the engagement, but this we will be discussing in another video. And also a really important thing before we will actually close this video is that many owners and founders, they want to do the new revamp of their LinkedIn profile depending on their campaign. So as we work with more than 150 clients on revamping their profile, we actually found out that they're coming back to us to actually revamp their profile depending on the campaign. And I do it too. So for example, there is a campaign for Christmas, for Black Friday, etc. And you want to revamp it because you have something new. So how we do this is that we have actually invested in the personalized AI model, where we have analyzed 30 best and the most successful profiles on LinkedIn, and we put all of this into that AI model, which will not only assess your profile from this perspective, so like what you should do better, what kind of headline you should have, it will give you suggestions, but it will also rewrite your whole profile depending on the campaign. And this is all available in the Digital Business College, so you will have access to it inside Digital Business College, which is already available also in the Digital Business College Elite community. So I will also put the link below if you want to have access to this AI model that will revamp the profile for you, that will help you with the keywords, that will help you with the strategy of the buyer's psychology and much more. Then go below and apply for the Digital Business College Elite community, because this will save you a lot of time and also a lot of money, because the AI just have it all inputted in it, and it took us quite a lot of time to actually gather and collect all of the information from LinkedIn about how successful profiles actually do it. So I hope that you like this video. You can also comment below, let me know if you have some questions about LinkedIn, what videos we should do next, and don't forget to subscribe and also connect with me on LinkedIn, Marie Olivie Zamecnikova, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.